Hello and welcome. My name is Daniel and I'm an emerging practice manager at ServiceNow. These are my ServiceNow Bites, a series of videos where I show different features and functions of the ServiceNow platform as I've been asked by customers or as I'm excited about myself. In this particular video, I will talk about NowAssist for RPA. If you haven't used RPA or Robotic Process Automation yet, I'd highly recommend watching introduction video, giving you an overview of what RPA is and what it can do for you. For this year's Knowledge Conference in Las Vegas, I had the pleasure of creating a lab around NowAssist for RPA. NowAssist is our intelligent assistant helping you to create these automations way faster than before. And in this video, I basically will do a high-speed run through that lab, showing you the features of NowAssist for RPA. Let's get started. The scenario for this lab that I came up with is that we receive a set of compressed invoices and we need to extract information out of them. So the task for our robot would be find the compressed zip files, extract all the invoices in a PDF format out of them, and then find line item information, tabular information on these files, extract that as CSV and store it so we could process them further. All right, this is now RPA Desktop Design Studio, where we have NowAssist already enabled. So let's get started with our first task. We click Create Automation. You can see the NowAssist icons here. And it also shows us the option Build with NowAssist. Build manually would be like we've done before without assistance. So let's go here and we get a Build with NowAssist screen, which looks very familiar if you have used any of the NowAssist features in the creator space, like text to playbook, text to flow. They all look very similar. We get a first screen where we need to put in our prompt, what we want the assist to help us with. And we have the prompt prepared in this case. As you can see, we started like, hey, there's a JSON string, we have some zip files in an array listed, and we have got a path where the files are, which I already prepared on that machine. So everything is set up so we can get started quickly. Let's generate a preview. And NowAssist will analyze our prompt and come back with a proposal. Here's the result from NowAssist. And as you can see, it found out that we have a JSON object that we need to deserialize and we want to get some properties out of that. That's a pretty good start. Let's click Next. Name our robot, LabBot. Say it's an unattended one that we want to build this time. Click Save and Edit, and we'll get to the RPA Desktop Design Studio canvas with a quick notation that this has been generated by NowAssist. Now, like with pretty much anything an AI does, it gets us a good step forward, but it's not always correct. It's not always complete. So the tiny steps that we need to do here is basically what comes out of that JSON action. We'll need to link that up with the get properties. So we take whatever is here and put that down here. If I run that automation, we can actually see that the output is fine. We get here the array of the zip files and here the path where the files are. Great job for our first step. With the first part done, the next step that we need is actually go through the files, extract them to a different folder. So we can simply enhance our automation by select a component where we want to add stuff, use the NowAssist pop-up or function. Let's move that again some more center and put in the next prompt. In this case, we tell him, hey, you get an array of file names, iterate over these, concatenate the file names with the path, and use the combined information to find the zip files and extract them to a new folder. Let's see what NowAssist does with that prompt. Here we go. You can see NowAssist already placed new components onto our canvas. There's a loop component as we asked, there's a combine for the path and extract. That sounds great. So let's accept that. And I'm going to rearrange the canvas just a little bit so we can actually see what's happening here. Move that around. Awesome. So starting from the first, we get the for each collection. So it knows the for each, but it doesn't know what to loop over. So let's take the zip files we get from that get property up of here and put that into that collection. We loop over these zip files. Next one is we want to combine the path name and the file names together. It says us here, for example, base path. It needs the base path. It didn't know where to take it from, so we put in like a string as a placeholder. We know our path is basically the one that we get up here, so put the path down here. And then it says current file name. Yeah, so again, same thing here, take that out. And we'll link up the file name from our for loop. Now, there's a little trick here needed because what JSON get property returns is not the same data type as we need for that combine. So we'll need to do a little transformation here to make sure that everything is a simple string. Just put in here a toString, very easy transformation. We'll need to do that on both of these data ports. And that will allow us to combine the path name. Last step is the extract. Again, here you can see use combined paths. Obviously, it didn't wire it up. So I'll take that out and we wired it up from here. And it put in the C temp extractor. That's the folder where we want to have the extracted files. And the very last part on this exercise is we don't want to end after one entry in the loop, right? We want to actually end our flow when everything is extracted. So we move that end back up to the other control output port of our for loop. Let's run that automation and see what happens. See, it was very fast and it did actually extract our files. We can look at that in our temp folder. There's an extracted. We can see all the PDF files are in here. Great job for exercise number 2 of the lab. All right, after that second step, the last part that we need is go through the extracted PDF files and get all the information out of that. So we want to do that right after everything is extracted. So we go back to that for each, use the build with NowAssist feature, put in a new prompt. The new prompt says retrieve all the PDF files from a given folder, iterate through them, retrieve one table out of each of them, and save that as a CSV file. It's only 2 lines, but there's a lot of information in here for NowAssist to process. Let's see what happens when we send that over. Here we come. NowAssist has now added again another set of components in here and rearranged our canvas, which might look a bit confusing, but let's have a quick look. We see get files, a for loop of the files, load PDF, get table as CSV, and close down the PDF file. So that's all good stuff that we need. Let's accept that and maybe rearrange our canvas just slightly so we can see what we actually do. These are the new components that we need to work on. And there's a PDF connector close. Maybe we put that at the end and the end path as well. So what did NowAssist do this time? It has that get files and already wired that up with the for each loop. And this time it also knew that we want to take the output from that one as part of our loop. That's great. Right? After that loop, and let's just move that around so we can see the lines a little bit better. It wants to load a PDF file, but it doesn't pass in the file name. So let's put in the file, which is coming out of our loop, into that PDF piece. And the next step it does, getting a table from that PDF. That's great. So it understood to use the PDF connector to load the file and extract information from it. This is pretty awesome. The last step it does is, or the second last, is getting that a table as CSV, which would export a table as CSV, which is great. The only piece missing is basically from this table here to get it in here. And as you see, that doesn't work that way because the data table is actually, again, another connector plugin that's been used. So let's go to that data table model and we find another method called here set table. We need that in between here because we need to get the table from the PDF into our data table. Okay, let's wire that up accordingly. Make sure that is in here. And we want to have the table coming from the PDF being set into our data table. That's the first piece. The next piece, I'll move a bit to the right, get table as CSV, you see it needs a file path. It wants to store that information as a file. We don't have a file name yet, so let's quickly generate a file name. On this case, we have on the toolbox a feature called change extension. We just will use the same file name as the PDF, but replace the extension with CSV file. So let's say we need a new extension called CSV. And we need as a path, basically where do we need to replace the extension, just the same as the PDF file, which is just what we have here in our for loop. Put that into that path, that will do it for us, and then pass the result, which is a CSV file, into get table as CSV. That's pretty much it. The only part, same as before, left is that the end part we don't want to have inside the loop. We want to have the end as the outcome of the for, so we'll put that up here somewhere. And that should be our full automation. Let's give it a shot. Run. You can see it took a little longer than before. We got no errors. That is awesome. Let's again look in our extracted directory, ctemp extracted. And here we go. We got all PDF files and each PDF file has a CSV attached to that. You can actually open that up and have a look. This is the line item information that we extracted out of the PDF. You see quantities, unit price and stuff. We could easily use that file, upload it to ServiceNow and process it any further. All right, this was a very fast and kind of high-speed run through a lab that we used at Knowledge 2025 to show NowAssist for RPA. I think it's really powerful how with just some very easy prompts, in this case 3 different prompts, you can build a complete automation and only have to do some minor tweaks to it to make it work. If you like that, give me a thumbs up or comment down below what you'd like to see, how things are set up and done. I'll gladly help you forward with that, and I hope you keep watching. Thank you. Bye-bye.